chapter 8 from Digital Marketing Strategy for Online Marketing at Warburg. So, in chapter 8, we are going to look much deeper into SEO strategy or search engine optimization. So, search engine optimization was introduced in our previous chapters, but now we're really going to dig down into what causes SEO to work and why, as online marketers, we want to use it. So, search engine optimization, or SEO, is making sure that we optimize our site for natural search engine results. So, what SEO determines is where we get placed on a search engine result. So, how far up the page, if we make it to page one, if we're one of the top. Natural organic links, these are links that we don't pay for, such as when a customer mentions us in a social media post and they link to our website. So that's an organic link. The algorithm is the search engine's code. So that's the AI behind the search where the robots are searching for what meets these keywords. And then on page and off page. So on page SEO is our website. So what is the content of our website? How do we have our website structured? And how do we rank in SEOs from our website design? Off page is those natural and organic links. So who links to our content? These can also be pay-per-click links where we've directed someone to our website from an ad or from a social media text. The metadata, so the code that tells robots about our website. What are they looking for? So do we have written in, if we sell beauty products, do we have that included in our meta tag? Okay. Keyword density, so the number of keywords on a page. So when we're creating our website, do we use headings with popular keywords? Do we provide content that use keywords that would help us in a search? Okay. Tags are HTML code that are attached to parts of our website. Crawl is what the robots are doing when they're trying to search for a site. Alt text is text that describes images. And then anchor text. And anchor text is visible when clicking on a link, so you can see what the link will say. The SEO triangle is a combination of our content, our technical information, and our links. Okay, so the next slide breaks down what those different ranking factors are. So the key ranking factors and how they fit into that content. So what is the name of our website? Um, who maybe owned that website before us? So if we just bought a website or our domain name, that's part of our URL code is what is our domain name. The title tags and heading tags on our page. So what do we build into that HTML for keyword content? Then keyword density. You want to make sure that you're providing good content on your web page and that you're using keywords that come up in searches, but you don't want to overload your keywords so that the content is nothing but keywords. That actually counts against you, a keyword overload. How long does it take your page to load? Do you have high graphic media or video media that slows down page loads? So it takes forever for your website to load. Are you using really high quality images? Do you have alt tags? So are you using alt text? Are you designing for accessibility? And we're going to talk more about web design in a future chapter where we just look at how do you create a good website. How often do we update our content? Has it been 6 months since we posted something new? We're going to show up lower in the rank versus if we regularly update our content. And then this internal link volume, that's those organic links. So how many people link to us and how visible is our content? How do customers spend time on our website? So if we have a high bounce rate, that affects our SEO ranking. So some key ranking factors. The value of each ranking is roughly equal. That's why it's a triangle. Okay? Many of those ranking factors overlap, like alt tags are part of our content strategy, but they're also part of keyword strategy. Okay? So it's very important for us to understand how that search engine optimization is happening. Okay? So Google does dominate the search engine market, but that doesn't mean that some people aren't using Bing or Yahoo or some of the other search engines that are available on devices. Everyone is using search engine optimization, and so it's important that as a marketer, you study and understand it. Of course, Google changes their algorithms from time to time, so paying attention to how Google changes your rankings is also important, staying current with keyword trends. You can see how focusing on ranking highly in specific keywords can actually penalize you. So it's better to focus on performing broadly and just providing really good content that drives traffic to your website so that all of your SEO happens organically and just because you're doing your marketing well instead of trying to trick it, because Google gets smart about that and then they start to create penalties for those things. Okay, so click-through rates depending on position. So here we have your click-through rate depending on if you're first in a web search or if you're 15th. Think about your own interaction with search results. Do you scroll down to the bottom of the page and see what all the results are, or do you click one of the top 5 results? How often do you go to the second page of the results? So coming up as available on the first page is already important to increase the number of click-throughs that you have, but then coming up in the top 5 even gives you better access to click-through rates. Okay? How should we research our own strategy? Okay? So our strategy should always be the goals and objectives. What are our goals and objectives? Is it to drive more customers to our site? Is it to target specific customers? Once we have those goals, then we should start thinking about the keywords that we use to increase those goals. So let's look at the data that we have, look at the keyword strategy. We're going to go through these step by step. So first, keywords, create logical segments. Which is our most valuable segment? How do the customers vary between those segments? Which segment should we prioritize? Should we prioritize geographically? Should we prioritize based on age? Should we prioritize based on disposable income, spending availability? It really depends on what the goal for our company is. If we're a local company, we want to focus on geographical location. If we don't offer shipping of online orders, so if we're a local restaurant, for example, and you need to be in a geographic area to eat our food, we're going to focus on geographic demographic segments versus specific other age of customer otherwise. Okay, then mine our data. So we look at historical data and Google Analytics. We can also look at Google Trends. We can pull keywords from our customer personas. What content do we have? How do we want to show up in a Google search? Okay. Then we can use third-party tools. Google has a keyword planner. Okay. Their keyword planner acts like a thesaurus to come up with related words for our keywords to help us expand the set. If we're a local restaurant, um, we want keywords to come up in searches such as food near me if people search for that. Okay? And then do a double check on our keywords. Do we have the right keywords? Will the keywords that we chose add commercial value to our organization? We can ask others within our business if they feel that these are good keywords for us as an organization. A next strategy is using title tags. Okay, title tags are a brief description of our page. They're embedded in the HTML. It is visible in the search results used by search engines to interpret our pages. They should be less than 75 characters and have important keywords. We should include our brand in the title tag. We can see on this next slide an example of the title tag. So our company name, and then what do? We do digital marketing strategy. We help people improve their SEO and manage their marketing. Okay? So we have the title tag and our meta description. The meta description should be under 160 characters, and it's a description of what's on the page. So we'll see in the search result the name of the company, the website URL or domain name, and then the meta description that helps us to know what would we find on that website if we clicked on it. Then we have our website structure. So what is the hierarchy of our website? What's the navigational flow? And is it logical to our customers? Can they get from page to page? Can they find what they're looking for? What's our URL structure? Okay, so our URL structure is how each page is named. We want it to be logical, so the robots who crawl for websites will pick it up. We should have our website name included rather than numbers or search numbers. Okay, we create a sitemap, whether we display that sitemap or just have it on our website in the HTML file. We can also do an XML file and submit through Google's Webmaster Tools. We can provide alt text for images. That increases accessibility, which is one of the things that Google checks for in their SEO rankings. Okay, we should not use Flash. We should be careful of the different technologies that we do read, and we should not duplicate content either within our site or from other sites. So if we just keep repeating the same thing over and over again on different pages on our website in an effort to increase the keyword navigation, Google will penalize us and will actually show up lower on the search results instead of higher. So making sure that we have good, unique content that is updated regularly. Okay? Use the Google search tools that are available to businesses to pick up errors and avoid penalties. Okay? So our content. Search engine optimization is linked to good content. We want to make sure that that content contains the keywords and that we are consistently updating that content. And then links and penalties. So we should have a link strategy. How do we get businesses or our customers to link to us on social media? What do we use from links? Okay, buying links is a black hat strategy and will bring on Google penalties, should be avoided. So what this is paying people to create link backs to our website. Okay, it's different than pay per click advertising. Um, and we're just buying access to links to our website. Okay, it's not about the volume of our links. Actually, the higher the volume of our links, we can actually end up coming in lower on the Google search. If Google picks up on a high volume or fast growth in links, they may investigate us. Okay, so our link strategy should always be about good content, okay, which creates that organic link where people are linking to us organically and sharing our content. What are the different penalties? One is an algorithmic penalty. We come up lower on the search. Okay? The other is a manual penalty. Google locks us out. We will get warnings from Google Analytics, from Web Analytics. They will check us out. We'll get a written information from them. So we should make sure that we're checking our content, we're checking our backlink profile to make sure that they're not going to spam, that we're doing original content and always updating it. Okay. Of course, this is an ever-changing landscape. So one, you can see the focus is less on keywords and now on spoken phrases. Alexa, get me a recipe for something. Alexa, search, or Siri, or how we speak into our Google phones. And as AI develops, image searches are also becoming more popular, and the technology for image searches is increasing. So we should think about that in our SEO strategy also. What images we're using on our website, make sure that you own those images or you have paid for those images. Do not just take images off of the internet and put on your web page without thinking about the copyright of who owns those images. Use a company that you can pay for access to images or create your own images. Okay. Another thing is taking advantage of the search engine results page. So using structured data to answer queries, and mobile searches have overtaken desktop searches. So mobile is not a secondary tool. It's actually the first tool that people use. Search engine optimization needs buy-in from the top down in an organization. We need to make sure that everyone is doing activities. When the CEO posts to Twitter, we need to make sure he's thinking about how that impacts our SEO. If he's linking to the organization, if he's talking about the organization, we need to make sure that all of that is connected. Okay? And then the end of the chapter, the advantages and disadvantages of SEO. Of course, the advantages, we can be highly targeted. It's potentially low cost, especially as we increase our organic searches. It drives traffic to our website. Disadvantages, we have lack of predictability. We don't control what comes up in a search or how people interact with that search. Maybe some people prefer to go to the second page of Google for their results. It takes time for us to see results from that. It is very complex and dynamic. It takes a lot of time and energy to become an expert on search engine optimization. However, if you do become an expert in that, you will have an amazing career ahead of you because companies will pay great for that. You have to keep up. It's ongoing research, never stops. But it's poor for developing awareness when compared with other media channels. Your best bet is actually to be active and engaging on other media channels because all of that organic activity improves your search engine optimization better than just keyword strategy does. That is the end of chapter 8.